You have been well trained.
No.
You don't have to carry a sword to be powerful.
I won't fail you.
Or do not.
I'm not afraid.
Please don't try.
Hello, welcome to the Chance Cube presentation of gameplay. Today we're looking at General Hux paired with Ciena paired with Guavian Enforcer versus an elite Darth Vader Dark Apprentice paired with elite Captain Phasma Ruthless Tactician. I'm Kyle Sorensen and I'm joined with...
I'm Seth Taylor.
So Seth, what are you most excited to see from this pairing that we have today?
I want to see if Hux is going to drop some sweet mobilize, something early to get down a big vehicle. You know, get a Slave 1 or an ATST out real early could be a big game changer.
For me, the pairing of Vader and Phasma was extremely exciting when I first saw the two-player deck. It looks like we have mulligan going on with 3 cards from one side and 2 from the other.
Obviously, Ciena and General Hux, the 3-character side, is going to want to keep his flank. That's one of the best removal cards, especially when you're a 3-character deck playing against a 2-character deck. I feel like I like the gamesmanship and the handshake. I feel like any 2-player deck, or any 3-character deck, anyone that's 3 characters or more should always include flank in their deck, or at least should strongly consider it.
So here we are looking to see who goes first. For Vader and Phasma, we have the Emperor Throne Room, and it looks like we're actually going with Weapons Factory Alpha, which is while controlling battlefield, the cost of the first vehicle each round is decreased by 1 resource.
You know, in this case, I like the idea that Phasma and Vader gets the shields. It's only at 21 health, whereas it's pairing up against 29 health. The other thing, obviously, Vader Phasma relies heavily on that battlefield, whereas Ciena and Hux could take advantage of that battlefield, but only to drop something. You know, maybe he's going to drop an Imperial backing to get out an ATDP or something. That would be the most creative move he could do there.
So the opening move, we have Meditate, which is a support. Exhaust the support and remove 1 of your dice showing a blink to turn 1 of your dice to a side not showing damage, which for the Vader and Phasma really can help you just left and right with being able to deal out damage.
Looks like I saw a cannon fodder in his hand, so that's not going to help with his Hux. Oh, and he's not going to get much of a chance. He's going to have to doubt that die. Let's see what he rolls.
Oh, we've got damage. Looks like just 1 of Vader's shields is gone.
I love Hux. I have a Hux deck myself. I really like the idea of playing an Immobilize for free. Dropping a Hux while all 3 of your characters are still alive to get 4 resources is amazing. I also really like it to play it to Hux's ability to play an Imperial backing, 2 cost that you can play support from your hand. Some pretty exciting plays with General Hux's ability with a vehicle deck.
And now we have a Dark Council played on to Vader, and it looks like the first vehicle has gone out.
Got a TIE Fighter out here. Would have been nice if this is playing against a deck that focuses on shields, but still great to get a TIE Fighter out. It's fun to see that card played.
Oh, and look at that. Vader's rolled out with 2 specials right off the bat. This is really some spicy rolls that we've got going out here.
I'm sure our Hux deck, which said he could play both the flank. Oh, he's just going to take it. Rolls out as... he doesn't have any resources. I was going to say I would have really wanted to either play my Electroshock or the flank, but he didn't have any resources. And again, there I would have just hit 6 damage before they had a chance to recover. I really like to see the damage go out, but here he gets a chance to resolve a lot of specials. He played he got those 2 extra actions. I'm sorry, I didn't notice that.
Oh wow, and we have 4 specials that are just ready to go out.
That's a nuts first turn. That is just crazy.
Yeah, and we're just seeing the damage stacked on. I mean, this is just... There's Hux gone, round 1. Absolutely annihilated.
Obviously, our errata came out, which is these character pairings were one of the troubles. I don't know that I've ever seen somebody hard roll out all 4 specials. That's the god roll that he's hoping for, and he got it. Being able to do that with the tactical mastery and the 2 extra actions is just incredible. No chance to play a flank or an electroshock. I don't even know which one he would have removed. All 4 of those dice did 3 damage.
So now with Hux gone, how do you think the rest of this match will play out?
He's lucky he got a vehicle out. Ciena's still alive, so he has a chance to use some of his resources to activate one of his vehicles twice. But he would have really been in better shape if he could have got an ATST or a Slave 1 out. He's going to want a tech team out early, but it is not looking good with an 11 health character dead on the first round.
Yeah, at this point, truly, Vader and Phasma just kind of have to wait out the rest of this round just to see what the next round will hold.
He had to discard 2 really good removal cards just to do some rerolls here. His Ciena Re is on a modified side, so he's hoping for either the hard damage, and he did not get it. That TIE Fighter with the Guavian also getting modified. If that TIE Fighter could have pulled up some damage, he could have done some good response damage to Phasma early on as well.
Well, here we are going into upkeep. From your point of view, would you have discarded cards, especially the mitigation that is absolutely going to be necessary against this Vader Phasma, just for the offshoot of potentially doing a little bit of damage?
He didn't have any resources left, so the TIE Fighter only had a 33% chance. If he had a resource left, the 50-50 shot on the TIE Fighter would have been nice. I would not have done that many rerolls. The Guavian could have rolled 2 different dice that would have done it, so again, he had 2 dice with 2 sides each, but he needed that flank, he needed that electroshock. That was just a big blow, and I think he knows it.
So at this point, looks like we've got some decent hands going into this next round. And a rollout with Ciena right at the beginning.
We've got a Force Lightning. I saw it incorrectly. That's a Phasma's Blaster, which is exactly what he's going to play there.
His hand right now is very upgrade heavy between not only Phasma's Blaster, but also an Ancient Lightsaber. But also a couple grays between, I believe it's Partnership, or no, that's All In, my bad. That's All In and also Rend.
With the tactical mastery, being able to get out a lot of those damage, or those dice sides, and now a all-in. I don't personally play all-in a lot, but it could really get some exciting plays before they have a chance to respond. There he plays a He Doesn't Like You, removes his Ciena die in order to get rid of that 3 more damage from Vader.
So, from your point of view, would you have rolled out Guavian prior to Ciena, just in the event that you needed to use the He Doesn't Like You? From my point of view, that Guavian modifier, you have a higher chance of rolling that than you have with getting true damage with Ciena, which that would be an easy ditch to ditch somebody else's dice.
I'm okay with removing Ciena's die. He still has his resources. He's got the 3 damage on the TIE Fighter. I think that he wants to roll the +2 on the Guavian and maybe even pay his 2 resources to reactivate that TIE Fighter. He's going to spend one of his resources to get rid of a few dice there.
I was going to say, he was looking at least 5 damage, and that focus definitely would have hurt had Phasma's dice been focused into a 2 damage.
Again, this General Hux deck is nothing. Definitely did not get a chance to show its full potential. He still wants to keep that resource for that TIE Fighter damage, but man, there's almost no character that can last through 12 damage in first turn on hard damage. He didn't even have a chance to mitigate a single one of it.
Well, not unless you're Palpatine.
Yeah, Palpatine and Vader stay alive. Anybody else falls victim to that. That tactical mastery was a beautiful play and some real good lucky rolls from him, and I think it's going to show for the rest of the game here. Plays a pin down, spots a vehicle, and removes a die.
So at this point, we see Ren being discarded for a reroll, and we have one focus.
The likelihood is he's not going to see any targets for Rend. He probably plays Tech Team in this deck, would be my guess, and that's costing 1, so probably almost no upgrades, if any at all. This is going to be a heavy support deck, and he's going to want to try to play, an ATDP, a Slave 1, so Rend, discard to reroll is a good choice there.
Well, there we go. We now see 2 damage being thrown onto Vader, and we have 1 resource currently sitting with Phasma.
Other than he doesn't like you, Hux's, this deck's best removal is going to cost at least 1 resource. Flank, Electroshock, Pin Down, the best defense. We've seen all those either in his hand or discarded to re-roll, or he's played some of them. So it's going to be really tough to play that Ciena ability. Again, he really needed to rely on that Hux at least once or twice. If he could have got a Mobilize played from Hux, it would have been a completely different game. Getting a chance, like ATST could have done some real serious damage.
Yeah, I truly would have loved to have seen Hux last beyond that first round. But here we are going into the upkeep. Everybody's drawing out and getting ready for the next phase. So from this point, what do you think that it would truly take for this Ciena Guavian to be able to pull out ahead?
Oh, Vader and Phasma are going to have to just roll poorly. Perhaps he could he's got another best defense. That could get rid of maybe, again, but he's only got 2 resources. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a really tough game from here on out. I love playing Ciena's ability. There's the Ancient Lightsaber to heal the only bit of damage that Vader's taken. 2 out of that 3 damage there. And he's got the luxury of not even having to heal for a while.
Yeah, at this point, though, truly, he just has the run as to what he wants to do. And at this point, I would say with that tactical mastery, which, yes, I was just about to say, he should be rolling out that Vader and the Phasma. So that way he can try to see if he has capability to stack everything up. Because right now we're looking at 1 focus, a blank, 1 resource, and 2 damage.
Again, post-errata, it'll be nice to see some of these vehicle decks get a chance. Again, this deck could have really dropped something big. It's capable of playing an ATST on first turn. We've got a lot of dice out there. Slave 1 would have been really exciting. Our Vader Phasma has 7 dice, and having that Slave 1 hit for 7 potentially on that special could have been a lot of fun.
So now we've seen the TIE Fighter roll out 2 specials this turn, or not just this turn, but this entire match. From a perspective of playing against no shields, what use would you say the TIE Fighter really plays in this kind of match?
In this matchup, especially since he played that first turn, it would have been nice to get rid of the 2 shields that were dropped on Vader. I think that the TIE Fighter has a place, if you play that against Blue Hero or even Han Rey, you can remove a lot of shields. If you're removing 4 to 6 shields, that's especially with all the different fun hijinks that those characters can do with it, either Qui-Gon or Han. So it's still got some opportunities, but at this point he's using it for another he doesn't like you.
And here we see he's now rolling out Phasma. And let's see what he gets. Alright, we've got 2 for a resource. Right? Is that 2 for a resource, or is that 3 for a resource?
Well, importantly, we've got Phasma's special, so this Ciena is not looking like she's going to live long.
Well, and even then, you've got 3 dice that are showing damage. So, truly, things are looking dire, not just for Ciena, but also the Guavian Enforcer. Simply because all he has to do is just knock out Ciena with one of those dice and use another one to just start lathering on the damage. And just like that, we see Ciena go.
And that Captain Phasma Blaster is 3 damage for a resource, is what he's got showing there. The Ciena, before Ciena dropped, he wanted a chance to untap that TIE Fighter, spent 2 resources to be able to activate the TIE Fighter again.
Which is a smart move, because as we can see, he's now got damage. At this point, just with Phasma's special, that's really the only other move that he currently has, just short of claiming, since he has no more resources.
He's got an isolation in his hand. There's no character die out yet. No resources there. Another Dark Council, which isn't too necessary. Yeah, I can see him discarding to reroll. I would have kept the free damage there and just rerolled the resource cost, but we'll see what he gets.
Looks like we have +3 and a special. But yeah, I definitely would have kept Phasma's special. That damage guaranteed would have been... There we go.
Takes 2 damage there. At this point, if I'm the lone Guavian Enforcer left, I'm hoping for maybe just a small moral victory of killing the Vader. With that, he just checked to see how much damage is on there. So with that, Ancient Lightsaber is looking like Vader and Phasma might run the table without taking any defeats here.
Yes, truly with 7 damage on Vader and Phasma not even being touched. This game truly is just a runaway, which kind of speaks to why the point change for Phasma was necessary with the errata. Just to make sure that instances like this kind of give other players a chance to fully play out a game, especially with somebody like Hux and being able to drum up more vehicles than just a singular TIE Fighter. Although with the vehicles, which ones would you say are the best quality to throw into this kind of deck?
You know, again, Hux's ability has a chance to play a red event from your hand for free, or excuse me, for decreasing its cost by 1 for each character you have. So if you get that early, my favorite play is Mobilize. You're playing, which normally costs 3 resources to gain 4 resources. But with Hux's ability, especially first turn or before any of your characters die, you get 4 resources. At that point, if you haven't spent any of your resources, you're playing an ATST. If you have spent your resources, you can still play a Slave 1. I think that Slave 1 and ATST are the 2 big players here in this deck.
And here we are going into round 4 as we start up with Upkeep. And right there we see a Sith Holocron in hand, so... I mean, truly at this point, there's really no need for upgrades, but it is always fun just to see what you can throw out. And that's quite different seeing the Holocron going on to Phasma. I definitely would not have seen that coming.
I think that he's just, at this point, he's got a Vader that's pretty heavily damaged. Potentially could take a loss here, and the Holocron not being blue character only, which there's been all sorts of conversations about that, just gives a chance for another pretty exciting play late game here.
So there we see 1 damage on the TIE Fighter. And we have Phasma rolling out, so let's see what we can get going. And it looks like there's a good amount of damage that is going to be going out this round.
Yeah, we've got 5 damage there for 1 resource, and a chance to gain 2 resources if he really needs it.
Well, and even then we have a 2 focus on the Phasma dice that's currently showing, or sorry, 1 focus. That's my bad.
He was hoping for that modified die on the Guavian. Got a modified resource. Again, I think my only hope here would be a moral victory, but he's just going to deal that Guavian 5 damage there. Got the 3 with a resource off of the blaster, and then the 2 damage on the Phasma die.
Yep, so now we have the Guavian down to 2 health. I mean, from my point of view, I would say ditch that we have them now, but instead he's going to play it. And there goes an isolation. So, truly no way around it to try to gain any momentum here. And even with Vader at 3 health left, we see him rolling out.
We see the Guavian Enforcer player looking to do a little bit of force magic, use the force to make his dice roll blanks. Didn't work out for him.
But we do see 1 damage on a Vader dice, 1 discard, and 1 focus. So still there's quite a bit of opportunity to see some damage being dealt.
Again, hats off.
Special.
Hats off to the gentleman running the Vader Phasma. Really well played game. I would have loved to have seen Hux get a larger vehicle down early. The TIE Fighter had a chance to do some damage, but I can imagine that if an ATST or a Slave 1 would have dropped early, especially on that round that he was able to pay for Ciena's ability to activate the vehicle twice, we could have seen a different game if Hux would have lasted, been able to even just resolve 1 or 2 of those specials.
Yeah, it truly would have been great to see. But this was a great game, going 4 rounds. But everybody, we'd like to thank you for watching this presentation from the Chance Cube. Thank you for your time and have a great day. My name is Kyle Sorensen.
I'm Seth Taylor. Thanks, everybody.
Make sure to like the Chance Cube on Facebook at facebook.com/the Chance Cube. Also on Instagram at instagram.com/the Chance Cube. And lastly on Twitter at twitter.com/the Chance Cube. Once again, thank you for your time.